The ring is on your finger, and the calendar just got real. You're planning a multicultural wedding, and the stakes feel higher than the skyline at sunset. 2 families, 2 languages of love, one day to say, "This is us." It's beautiful. It's also a lot. The first week after the proposal is a swirl of group texts and Pinterest boards. Your aunt wants a traditional procession. Your cousin is voting for a rooftop party and tacos at midnight. Somewhere in the middle, your heart whispers, "Please let this feel like home." Have you felt that tug of war between vision and voices? Welcome to Whispered Hearts, English, where we turn big emotions into calm, clear choices. Tonight is about building a celebration that honors both of your worlds without losing your minds. We'll steady the plan, soften the pressure, and keep the joy where it belongs. You're allowed to be excited and organized at the same time. Start with a kitchen table moment. 2 mugs, a shared notebook, and a pen that glides. Each of you names the elements that feel sacred: words, foods, rituals, colors, music. You're not negotiating yet. You're listening for heartbeat-level yeses. There's a simple truth that clears the air. Not everything can be everything. Research shows decisions get kinder when you know your musts and your maybes. If tea is a must, mark it bold. If a second outfit is a maybe, circle it soft. What would your top 3 musts be if you had to pick them right now? But there's something even quieter holding this day together. Your ceremony should feel like a story, not a collage. Think of it as a short film with chapters that flow, not a playlist on shuffle. Before you choose vendors, sketch the arc of the day in plain words. Culture shapes rituals the way seasons shape a garden. Some traditions center communal blessings with objects passed hand to hand. Others center spoken vows and a ring exchange, simple and clear. Some traditions enter with drums. Others enter with silence and a deep breath you can feel. Which entry makes your chest feel wide and steady? Let your key elements list travel across the senses. Attire might blend textures, silk with beadwork, lace with woven pattern. Music might move from strings under the vows to a classic love song, and then into a drum track that wakes the room. Food can walk guests through both kitchens, one plate at a time. What taste from your childhood feels like celebration without saying a word? High stakes invite high expectations. Family members carry memories they want to see on your day. Set up a listening tea with elders from both sides. Ask, what moments feel essential for you to witness? Let them speak before you explain. You'll learn what is symbolic and what is flexible. Now add a soft boundary. We want to include these moments. We also want the day to feel like us. Can we explore a version that fits the flow? Most families relax when they understand the why behind the yes. Have you practiced that sentence out loud yet? But there's a curiosity worth testing before you book anything. What if the goal isn't fairness? What if the goal is coherence? When your choices serve the story, everyone understands what's happening, even if it's new. The day becomes generous, not confusing. Picture a spring rain outside City Hall windows, soft light on polished floors. The ceremony begins with a greeting in 2 languages and a welcome that explains the next 5 minutes. A symbolic blessing follows, short and clear. Vows come next in your own words, then a joyful exit to music your grandparents recognize. Do you hear how translation and pacing turn difference into ease? Guest experience matters. Think of signage as a host who stands at every corner smiling. Programs can offer 1-sentence explanations of each ritual. Place cards can include pronunciation notes, for names that deserve to be said right. Accessibility belongs in the plan, ramps, seating, and a quiet corner for anyone who needs a breath. Food tells stories people remember forever. A fusion buffet can keep joy high and lines short. If you prefer a plated meal, weave in a surprise course that nods to the other kitchen. Late-night bites can be playful. Spiced pies, noodle cups, mini sliders. Whatever you choose, name dishes with warmth so guests know what they're tasting. But there's something else that eases tension more than any menu. Agree on the timeline early and protect it like a keepsake. Build generous buffers. Add water and snack breaks. Put the family photos in daylight if you can, because light makes everything kinder. Which hour would you most like to feel unhurried? Vendors are your teammates. When you reach out, share a brief that explains what matters culturally and emotionally. A planner or day of coordinator who has done cross-cultural events is gold. A DJ who can blend genres without whiplash is a gift. A photographer who knows when to step back during sacred moments is worth their rate. Keep a shared folder with a naming system you both use. Ceremony music processional, reception playlist dance, attire fittings dates. It sounds small. It saves hours. Little systems keep love on top when emails multiply. What would you name your shared folder right now? Managing expectations is an art. When an uncle insists on a particular song or a cousin wants a long toast, acknowledge their care. Then decide where it fits. We love that song. Let's use it during the photo slideshow. Or, we're keeping toasts short for flow. Could we record yours and play it at the rehearsal dinner? You honored the heart without handing over the stage. Conflict will visit at least once. Picture a summer evening, string lights over a backyard planning session. You snap. We cannot add another ceremony. Your partner stares at the paper plates and swallows hard. Pause. Breathe. Repair. Say, I felt overwhelmed and made it sound like your tradition was the problem. I'm sorry. Follow with a specific action. Let's keep the blessing, but trim the reading. I'll call the officiant to adjust the timeline, and you ask your aunt if she can keep it to 3 minutes. Notice your partner's shoulders drop. Repair puts you back on the same side of the table. But there's another move that keeps joy high. Plan moment-by-moment translation, not just word by word. If a ritual uses unfamiliar objects, explain their meaning in one simple sentence. If you're wearing attire that signals respect or celebration, tell the room what it says so they can hear it with you. You're not breaking the spell, you're inviting everyone into it. Attire can be diplomacy and delight. You might start in classic Western wedding wear and change into cultural dress for the reception. You might combine elements in one breathtaking outfit. You might invite immediate family to echo the palette with scarves, ties, or small motifs. Guidance helps guests show respect without stress. Music is the air your celebration breathes. Open the dance floor with a bridge song that welcomes both sides. Maybe it's a love ballad that crosses decades. Maybe it's a drum-led track that wakes even shy feet. Then let the set list travel. Grandparents' favorites, your road trip songs, a wild card that your college friends can't resist. Which 3 songs could anchor that arc? But the heart of blending lives in ceremony choices. Some couples include 2 mini-ceremonies with a clear transition. Others design one ritual that braids symbols into a single gesture. You might exchange vows, then share a drink from one cup that represents both families. You might invite elders to offer a short blessing from each tradition. The point is not parity. The point is meaning. Guest comfort isn't glamorous, and it's everything. Offer water before and after the ceremony. Add shade if your venue is outdoors. Provide shawls if you're in a crisp winter chapel where the air nips. If your celebration runs long, give people cues. Stretch break. 5 minutes to greet your neighbor. People remember how their bodies felt. Midway through, hear this from the center of whispered hearts. English. You are not behind if the planning board still looks like a collage. You're not failing if one conversation with family got hot. This channel is a soft place to steady your hands and keep the joy close while you make choices that fit your life. Think of your rehearsal as a kindness to your future selves. Walk the route, touch the chairs, practice the handoff of rings and the placement of a symbolic cloth or light. The body learns by doing. You will breathe easier on the day because your muscles already know the path. Budget is a boundary with a heartbeat. Assign it a voice in the room so it doesn't have to shout. If a particular tradition is essential and adds cost, ask what can flex. Maybe the live ensemble becomes a duo. Maybe the dessert table becomes a shared family bake. Resourcefulness is not a downgrade. It's a story you'll tell with pride. Photographers capture faces. Ask them to capture meanings. Share a short list of moments that matter. Hands during blessings. A grandparent's smile when they hear a familiar song. A quiet glance before the aisle. Give your videographer the same map. You're not micromanaging. You're preserving heirlooms. But there's a quieter layer most couples forget. Build tiny pauses into the day where it's just the two of you. After the ceremony, step into a side room for 5 minutes. Eat one plate of food together before you make your rounds. Sneak outside at sunset and listen to the evening settle on your city. Without these pauses, the day rushes past you. With them, it stamps your heart. Stamps your heart. Guest communication makes everything easier. Your website can host attire guidelines with photos. Dressy with dancing shoes says more than a paragraph. Add travel tips, local maps, and a note about unplugged ceremony choices if they matter to you. Clear equals kind. Reception flow is where blended traditions sing. Start the evening with a welcome that invites guests to try everything, including the dance steps they've never seen. If you plan a circle dance or a procession, teach a simple version. Your MC becomes a bridge, not a spotlight. Give them pronunciation notes and a brief cultural primer. But there's an even braver choice that makes the whole day feel like you. Choose a theme sentence and let it guide decisions. 2 families, 1 table. Different routes, shared future. A house with many rooms. When a dilemma appears, ask which option tells this story best. The answer usually comes quick. Care for elders and children with intention. Reserve chairs near the aisle for easy in and out. Keep a quiet room with soft light in case anyone needs a reset. Stock a kid's nook with crayons, puzzles, and a volunteer who loves chaos. People will feel held, and you'll feel calm. Seasonal cues help you stage beauty without strain. In autumn, lean into warm palettes, leaf-dappled photos and hearty plates that feel like comfort. In spring, let the air smell like rain and citrus, with lighter fabrics that move when you dance. Summer evenings glow, so plan a golden hour toast on a porch or terrace. Winter calls for candlelight and hot drinks that gather hands around warmth. If you're blending languages, invite them both to shine. A line from each tongue in the vows. A toast in one language with a translation on the screen. Bilingual signage that reads like poetry. Guests feel honored when they can follow along without guessing. Your day of team needs a simple run of show they can hold in one hand. Keep time blocks clear. Assign a point person for each transition. Give vendors a single contact who makes decisions in real time so you can be present. The best gift you can give yourself is not having to ask, "What's next?" But even with all this planning, surprises will arrive. A playlist glitch, a sudden shower that darkens the sky and brightens the photos, a boutonniere that won't pin. You'll either laugh or panic. Build a tiny kit and a tiny mantra. We fix what we can. We bless what we can't. On the night before, choose tenderness over perfection. Eat something familiar. Lay out your shoes and breathe. Read your vows out loud to an empty room and listen for the line that makes your voice shake. That line is the truth. Keep it. During the reception, appoint a friend to watch your water glasses and plates. Appoint another to run interference if a well-meaning guest wants a 30-minute toast. Your helpers don't need capes. They need your trust and a short text that says, "We love you." Thanks for being our calm. Take one photo alone in your ceremony space after guests leave. The chairs will be crooked. The floor will be a confetti map. You'll stand in the middle and hear echoes of clapping and soft cry laughs. That photo will remind you that the day was lived, not staged. If something goes wrong between you, and it might, repair the way you practiced. I snapped because I was scared we were losing the day to other people's wishes. I'm sorry. Then a specific action. Let's step outside for 3 minutes and choose our next yes. I'll text the planner. That's what love looks like under pressure. Guests will remember your welcome more than your centerpieces. Speak to the room as if you were speaking to one friend at a kitchen table. Thank you for coming to meet our love in both of its languages. Short, true, enough. The final hour belongs to dancing and sweetness. Put a comfort song near the end that invites every generation up. Have a slow song ready for a private last dance while people line up for send-off. Look at the room. Look at each other. Let the day land. As the night closes, think beyond the exit. A morning after breakfast can be simple. Coffee, fruit, bread, and one favorite dish from each kitchen. Laughter softens tired edges. Stories become the first layer of family folklore. You'll hear a dozen versions of your ceremony kiss, and all of them will be right. If you're building favors, keep them meaningful and light, a spice blend with a recipe, a tiny piece of art with a shared symbol, a small bag of seeds that say, "Please plant and think of us." People carry stories home more than objects. Before you box up the clothes, write each other a note about one moment that felt like the center, the look at the aisle, the touch on a shoulder during the blessing, the way your grandmother clapped to a song she didn't know. Slip the notes into a book you'll open on your first anniversary. As we come toward the end, hold this with both hands. Your wedding is not a test. It's an invitation. Whispered hearts. English exists so couples like you can choose peace without losing beauty, culture, or meaning. You can make a day that feels like your future. We'll leave the door open for community because your ideas become someone else's relief. What's one tradition you'd include in your dream wedding? Tell us in the comments. Someone planning tonight might borrow your sparkle. On a quiet porch after the celebration, listen to the summer air hum and let your shoulders drop. On a crisp winter morning, warm your hands on mugs and replay the moments that keep glowing. In spring, smell the rain and consider planting those favor seeds. In fall, Walk under red leaves and remember the applause. The planning will end, and life will begin inside the vows you spoke. You'll eat in new kitchens, visit old neighborhoods, and hang photos that mix histories with hope. You'll keep the rituals that fit and create new ones when seasons change. That's the promise you made without saying a word. When your heart flutters at the next family gathering, breathe and return to the truth that steadies everything. 2 cultures, 1 day, your way. Keep choosing clarity, kindness, and joy. That is the quiet power of planning a multicultural wedding without stress.